not a slideshow. Here's my story. I've never, before or since, felt the pure joy I experienced when Colin Firth popped up from behind a tiki bar in a lycra jumpsuit and joined Cher in singing the ABBA hit Super Trooper. Oh, okay, good, it's up. I wasn't ready for it, but that's okay. That's fine. This is good. This is good. This is fine. Over the end credits of Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, my sister and I laughed so hard that tears streamed down our faces. We were bewildered and bemused by our own delight for days afterward, turning over moments of the film again and again in our minds, trying to understand what exactly about it is so special. We had made a night of it. She met me near my office after work, and we had fancy blue cocktails a block from the movie theater before the Thursday night showing that marked the movie's release up in Evanston. There are plenty of valid critiques to be made of Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again, but I will not be making them, because I'm here to tell you that they are perfect movies, and you should absolutely seek them out at your earliest convenience. I don't care who you are or how you feel about ABBA, we all need to seek joy. Okay, so I have a master's degree in film, let's just get that out of the way. I teach at Northwestern sometimes, we should also get that out of the way. I don't expect you to be impressed with me. And it shouldn't impact how you feel about my opinions. I don't think it makes me smarter or better able to analyze film than anyone else, but it does mean that I've prepared this short lecture. I'm moving, wait, okay, cool. I didn't know how this was arranged, so this is very exciting. So that's slide one, great. What makes a film good? It usually seems that a critical mass of scholars need to agree the film is good in the venerated pages of national and international print media, referenced for years upon years, in order to be considered seriously good films. Their readers must go out and buy tickets to those films while they are in theaters, and loudly agree with their wallets and their social media that yes, this film is worthy. Some might say that, at the very least, a popular website with thousands of followers must publish 500 to 1,000 words on the film's merits, which should then be shared by millions of people all over the world who saw the movie and can agree that, democratically and empirically, it is good. Who here has seen Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again? Woo! Good job, good job. Okay, cool, keeping feminism alive. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again transcends those limited definitions of greatness. It is great because it exceeds its own goals, and that is artistic triumph. It is made for a certain kind of person, femme, earnest, over the top, to enjoy, and that is okay. It doesn't make it less than. It is crafted for maximum happiness. It is escapism at its best, at a level few films ever achieve. It isn't camp, though it is campy, because camp is actually disingenuous. Slide 2, please. Next slide, thank you. This is the definition of camp. I don't know if you can read it, but basically it has to be disingenuous. One of the most remarkable qualities about Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, is that it's deeply sincere. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, is such pure entertainment that if it were a synthetic drug, its potency would require strict regulation. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again has the DNA, if not the pedigree, of some of the most beloved romantic comedies of the last quarter century. The Richard Curtis, who wrote Four Weddings and a Funeral, and Notting Hill, and Love Actually, is one of 3 people with a story credit on the film. Okay, so it's really good. The other 2 writers are the playwright Katherine Johnson, who was behind the 1999 smash hit stage musical Mamma Mia, and its 2008 film adaptation, which started it all. The third credited story writer and screenwriter is also the film's director, Ol Parker, who is otherwise known for being married to legendary British actress Thandie Newton. Please, next slide, thank you. Oh, is this her? No, okay, wait. You know what? Go to the next one. Let's see what the next one is. Yes, that's them. That's Ol Parker and Thandie Newton. So they are married in real life. One assumes that marrying Thandie Newton is Ol Parker's second greatest achievement after the successful execution of Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again is quite literally The Godfather Part 2 of jukebox musical romantic comedies. Next slide, please. Okay, this is a real headline. It is literally based on The Godfather Part 2. You're welcome, the more you know. In order to explain why Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again is so good and works so well, we must start with the madcap plot of the first film, to which it functions as both sequel and prequel. Wow! Mamma Mia was originally conceived as a jukebox musical for the West End, and its plot tries to incorporate as many nonsensical ABBA songs as it can fit. The film, like the stage version revolves around the wedding and paternity of Sophie Sheridan, who is played by Amanda Seyfried, a young bride on a fictional Greek island who invites 3 of her mother's ex-boyfriends to her nuptials in order to finally discover which of them is her biological father. You're like, please stop telling me the plot about Mamma Mia, but all the straight men here need to hear this. You haven't seen it. I know you haven't seen it. She plans to do this simply by meeting them and deciding which one seems most like he could be her father. A foolproof plan. Absent of any inconvenient science or emotional baggage. Her mother, Donna Sheridan, who is played by Meryl Streep, is an American woman who for some reason owns a villa on said Greek island and was formerly in a successful band with her best friends Julie Walters and Christine Baranski. Next slide, please. That's them. They look so good. Oh God. Talk about how good they look. Okay, listen. Donna and the Dynamos, that's their band. They're a fictional group that sings ABBA songs, which in the universe of Mamma Mia are their original songs, okay? This is yet another clue that their world is not our world. Donna's suitors from 20 years before, who are all still attracted enough to Donna to ship off to a remote Greek island from England, the US, and Sweden, are played by Colin Firth, Pierce Brosnan, and Stellan Skarsgård, respectively, and the names of their characters don't matter. This is all you need to know in order to enjoy the sequel. Next slide, please. There they are. Oh, they're so cute. Can you do the next slide as well? Oh, there they are again. Okay. I did 2 for you. I'm going to take an interlude here because it is a storytelling thing and just share a personal story, which is that a few years ago, my friend Nikki drove herself and myself up from Chicago to Minneapolis to visit my sister there, and we sang the soundtrack of the first Mamma Mia there and back for about 16 hours total, and I cannot recommend this enough as a bonding experience. Okay, back to Mamma Mia, here we go again. Mamma Mia, here we go again. Again, quite literally modeled on every baby boomer man's favorite movie, The Godfather Part 2. Next slide, please. Yes. Sees the present-day Sophie mourning Donna, who has recently passed away of unimportant causes. While Sophie grieves and tries to reopen her mother's shabby chic villa as a boutique hotel, we are treated to intercut flashbacks of the summer in 1979 when the luminous, fresh out of Oxford, Donna became pregnant with Sophie by one of 3 men. Meaning, yes, most of this film is just hot young actors making out with each other. Lily James plays the young Meryl Streep, and the young suitors are played by a veritable who? Of young, hot British men doing a variety of accents. Next slide, please. That's them. Who are those people? I don't know, one of them was in Fleabag. It doesn't matter. Also, there's a musical interlude every 3 to 5 minutes. I timed it, which is a remarkable interval that had my sister and I howling with disbelief. Like, there's like 2 seconds of dialogue, and then they just sing again. Nothing matters. Okay. The first number of the flashback, yet somehow the third of the movie, life moves pretty fast, comes when young Donna Sheridan is late to her own graduation ceremony, at which she is also valedictorian? Or at least popular enough as an American exchange student to give a commencement speech. She does this through the possible Title IX violation of singing When I Kiss the Teacher, and playfully kissing her hut mistress. Next slide, please. That's it. That's what happens in like the first scene. Great. Yeah. Not only does the assembled student body join Donna and her classmates in song, but so does the headmistress. As Anna Kendrick once helpfully summarized in an interview with Stephen Colbert, yes, you can look this up, Google this if you care. This scene technically confuses whether Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, is technically a musical where the characters don't acknowledge that they're singing about their feelings and the songs serve to move the plot forward, versus a movie where people sing, where the characters in the world of the story know they are singing for an audience in the context of the story. That actually matters to people who care about film. Technically, it's both. Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again is both. Some songs fall into the former category and some in the latter. The human behavior and internal logic of this film belong to fantasy, not reality, and the joyful, wildly outsized choreography of the music launches us into the hyper-saturated, augmented reality version of living life to the fullest that this movie wants to show us. Next slide, please. Oh, how cute are they? Oh God, it makes me want to watch the movie. Here is a short, but I didn't watch it to write this essay, I just know it by heart. Here is a short but by no means comprehensive list of all the pesky problems that do not exist in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Okay, : sexism, the concept of money, reproductive health care, or a need for it, immigration and visa restrictions, and the 46 years long existence of the band ABBA. Everyone seems to be having unprotected sex, but there are no STIs and all the pregnancies are wanted. It's truly wild. Next slide, please. It's so bananas. Okay, the young Donna Sheridan travels to France and Greece without a job or a care in the world, fueled by anger at her Vegas crooner mother Ruby, who is played by Cher, for not coming to her graduation. Yeah, fuck you, Mom. Which, sure. She thinks her destiny is waiting for her in Greece, which technically I also believe. In Donna's case, she's not delusional. Her life is waiting for her on the made-up island of Kalokeri, and on the way, she's going to have 3 consecutive love affairs within 1 ovulation cycle. It's great. And score a dilapidated villa. Next slide, please. Again, these are the 3 hotties? Yeah, these are them. These are them. She has sex with all of them within 1. It's amazing. Okay. Donna has a fling with a very sweet, dorky Englishman in Paris after he begs her to relieve him of his virginity through a very special rendition of Waterloo. This is, of course, a very specific sexual fantasy for a very specific kind of person named me. But it fits well into our contemporary politics that none of the men who pursue Donna are aggressive about it, and she is ultimately the more experienced partner in this first liaison. Next slide, please. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's so cute. He's Harry from Fleabag. After missing her boat, actually, I didn't write this. I went to a bachelorette party with someone who knew him, and it changed my life. Okay, we drunkenly texted him. Okay, after missing her boat to Greece, Donna finds a Swede named Bill with a boat and makes what assumes to be is prolific love to him on the way to her destination. This turns her trip into basically Eat, Pray, Love, but for 1979. She and Bill agreed that their fling was just that, and he graciously dumps her off at her preferred port. Next slide, please. Oh, there he is. Oh, that really happens in this movie. You guys, see this movie. What have you been doing? Where were you last summer? I don't know. Once in Kalokeri, don't worry, it's not much longer. She meets an Irish-ish guy named Sam with a motorcycle while rescuing a horse from a rainstorm. Don't worry about it. They colonize what they believe to be an abandoned farmhouse and have a sexcation for approximately a week before Donna discovers Sam is engaged to someone else, which, to be honest, is par for the course when flirting with strange men in foreign countries. Eventually, and the details of this are really not so important, Donna discovers she's pregnant, gets a job singing in a local bar, and is gifted the farmhouse by a local, making her life in Greece complete. Next slide, please. That's the last one. He's played by Pierce Brosnan in the first one. You guys. In the present, we discover Sophie is pregnant, that's the daughter, it doesn't matter. And on the day of the grand opening, her estranged husband, all 3 of her possible fathers, and her grandmother Ruby, again played by Cher, are able to join her in Greece for a grand reunion. The men arrive by boat to the tune of Dancing Queen, and Cher arrives by helicopter, which was either a stipulation of her contract or an inspired moment of levity. The only actual problems that confront the characters are 2 parallel rainstorms. One in 1979 that brings Sam and Donna together with the horse, and the one in the present that briefly imperils the grand opening of Sophie's Hotel Belladonna. None of the various betrayals, heartbreaks, and disappointments are treated as tragedies. They're just place settings for sad songs, with the characters gaining catharsis through karaoke. What a perfect resolution, in a way. Donna is unconcerned about being 22, pregnant and unmarried, in a country where she doesn't know anyone or presumably even speak the language. No one speaks Greek at any point in this movie. Or the first one, it doesn't matter. Her dream job of singing falls into her lap, as does the beautiful farmhouse where she'll make her life. She doesn't even really have to say bye to her friends from her band, because we know from the first film that they'll regularly come back for parties and girl time. Next slide, please. Thank you. Aww, that's the end. That's the end of the movie. Everything about Mamma Mia, exclamation, here we go again, is a fantasy of resilience. It's not quite the dream. It is crafted for maximum joy and maximum escapism, and by those metrics, it is a triumph. It is the only movie that can put me in a good mood instantaneously. Once on a plane, a woman was watching it on her laptop in the seat next to me, and I spent the flight watching her watch it. It was like a 4-hour flight to Los Angeles. At the end of our trip, I asked her what she thought. She glowed and informed me in Spanish that it was the best thing she'd ever seen, and she could not believe that she hadn't seen it already, thereby proving it transcends language. It is probably not a film for everyone, but like Evangelizers, I am convinced that if you let it into your heart, it will bring you happiness and temporary peace. Thank you.